Hey, it's Dino. We're at Studio95 with this handsome fella here named DJ Miller. How are you this morning?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Great. All right. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from a very small town in Indiana called Idaville.
They listen to country music in Indiana.
They do, actually. It's actually a pretty popular genre. But it's a real small town. It's kind of a three-blink town. If you drive through it and blink 3 times, you pass it. So it's literally one of those, you really have to decide which direction you want to go to see anything. So.
Is this one of those where your mom and dad were in music and they got you interested, or is it something that you picked up on your own?
Actually, I kind of got into it from my dad mostly. He had a country western band for about 30 years. And
country and western.
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
They kind of mixed together pretty well, actually. We found that out in the honky tonks and whatnot. But even when I was just 2 years old, I'd try to go with him whenever I could to his shows, and I'd stand up on stage with him, and I had my little cowboy hat and plastic toy guitar. And my mic stand, you'll get a kick out of this. It was actually a toilet plunger with a little plastic toy mic duct taped to the top of it, because it was just the right height for me. And when I used to videotape Garth Brooks's live TV concerts and whatnot, I was infatuated with Garth Brooks, and I would always I'd study him. I'd study all of his concerts and his moves and him being an entertainer. And even at 2 years old, I would even try to apply it to the stage then. I thought I was Garth Brooks. I'd take my hat off and wave it to the girls and whatnot. And that's kind of a style that I've really applied to my shows even today.
Can you name one thing that you saw Garth Brooks do and you said and you thought that was unique that you did? Is there one certain thing that you can say?
When he busted his guitar.
Okay.
It's a terrible thing to do to a guitar, I know, but it was so cool the way he built it up with his other guitar player. I mean, they both got their guitars. I mean, they were tapping them together, and the whole crowd just went crazy over it, and then all of a sudden, just big shrapnel on the guitar.
Wow!
Yeah, I mean, and that's something
That's what
crazy.
I want to do.
You don't expect that at a show. You're like, you're taught that guitars are such, so delicate and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, you take it to the next level, and that's what being an entertainer is all about, taking it to the next level and keeping your audience on their toes.
How old were you when your dad got you your first guitar?
Oh man, it's probably 12.
Really?
Maybe.
It's a little later than I thought it would be.
I tried learning in my younger years, but man, you really have to have dedication to it because your fingers are going to hurt right off the bat. So the first few times I tried learning, I quit right away because it was too tough on my fingers. But actually, my 8th grade year, I finally just decided, I'm going to learn. I actually got motivated because one of my friends actually told me it was too hard before me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my friends told me I couldn't learn to play guitar.
Was it a girl?
No, it was one of my best
wow.
friends, actually. One of my best friends, which is probably what I needed, but he told me I couldn't learn how to play in time for our spring concert. And this was in December, and our spring concert was in April. And, so I asked him if I could play guitar along with him for one of the shows for our spring concert because he was doing a solo. He said, "No, it's way too hard for you. You won't be able to learn it in time." So I was like, "Well, tag nabbit, I'm going to do it." So I went up to Dad and said, "All right, I'm ready. Teach me." So I caught on to it right off the bat, and spring concert came around, and I ended up doing a solo by myself on guitar.
Good for you.
Thank you.
What got you what was the break, or what got you to this point where now you have a record together? You're out telling radio, "Hey, here I am."
Well, actually, it was kind of a funny story. I used to be a full-time performer at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge in Nashville. And a good friend of ours from where we live in Indiana told us, I'm partners with a guy down in Nashville named Johnny Morris. So he arranged a meeting for Johnny to come down and see me perform at Tootsie's. Well, Tootsie's didn't want someone taking me away from Tootsie's. I mean, they wanted me to stay there and be a regular performer and make their money that way. So when I told them that someone was coming to see me, they kind of sabotaged my show a little bit. And they only let me do one song during my whole set. They turned the volume down on my microphone, and it was a disaster. But long story short, I did the best I could, and met up with Johnny at the end of the show, and he basically liked enough of what he saw, and he had me meet him the next morning and at his office, and it all just kind of went from there.
Tell me about this new album that you have. You gotta be excited. First
Well,
album you've ever done?
That's right. We released a record from the album in July called A Little Naughty Is Nice, and that's what we're promoting now. And we're getting great feedback from it. It's an awesome single. It's real upbeat. It's kind of a let your hair down and have fun type of song. And the album, it's going great. We're still recording. We've got one more recording session to do, and we're going to be releasing that actually sometime by the beginning of next year. But it's all coming together. It's awesome for me, especially not being used to any of this, and then walking into a studio and starting from ground zero and just watching it build and build and build and get better and better and better. So it really is just an amazing production. I'm excited about it.
Is it a strange feeling after listening to music your whole life to go in and actually create a song
Yeah,
that
it
was
is.
not there the day before and you just created one?
It is. It's a weird feeling just, writing a song. I like to write too. I write a lot of songs with my other writers, and we come up with just an idea, and then it turns into lyrics, and then it turns into a melody, and then it turns into a hard copy on a guitar, and a song that you just wrote just playing on guitar sounds good. And then you take it into the studio, and then you get your studio musicians, and they're just amazing, and they turn it into like a bass. And then you put detail on it with backup vocals and perfect the vocals, and then put fiddle in it, and then banjo, and then it just grows and grows. And you listen to the hard copy, and then you listen to the mastered copy, and it's overwhelming of what has happened to that one thing in just one day.
I'll bet. His name is DJ Miller. Watch for him, guys. We're here at Studio 95.